Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studio. I'm Rick Olson, and tonight we bring you the 16-1 Colfax Viking girls who are on a 16-game winning streak and who are riding atop the Dunn-St Croix Conference with a 12-0 conference record as they prepare to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes, who are 7-10 overall and 6-6 in the Dunn-St Croix from Colfax High School. Now, the Vikings are coming off a 71-49 victory over the Spring Valley Cardinals on Monday night, while the Buffaloes were defeated by the Durand, Arkansas Panthers 46-37 also on Monday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get the coach's perspective as we talk with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a look around the Dunn-St Croix Conference to see where things stand. Finally, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where we'll bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd?
He got a collapsed lung from vaping.
He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are coming off a 71-49 win over the Spring Valley Cardinals on Monday night, while the Buffaloes were defeated by the Durand, Arkansas Panthers 42-37 also on Monday. Now, in the Vikings' victory over Spring Valley, the Vikings took a little while to get things to flow their way. It was almost as if they were trying too hard or had too much adrenaline flowing. Once the Vikings got themselves under control, they also got the game where they could take control and capture the win. Now, leading the way scoring for the Vikings was senior guard Jordan Bovey, who hit 11 field goals, including a three-pointer, and went 4 for 4 from the free throw line for 27 points.
Bovey backs out, puts up a three. She hit the three! Jordan Bovey with the three-pointer.
She was followed by sophomore Lyric Nichols, who scored on 8 shots from the floor, including 2 three-pointers for 18 points.
Now they've got it to Bovey, gets it out to the elbow, and then out to Nichols. Nichols puts up the three, and she hit it.
Sierra Shipman and Bryn Sikora also contributed 7 points each.
Cipriano gets the ball taken away from her, and Shipman lays it up and in. To Shipman, then out to Sikora. She hit the three! Bryn Sikora with a three-pointer.
The Mondovi Buffaloes are 7-10 overall and 6-10 in the Dunn-St Croix Conference. Now, earlier this season, the Buffaloes faced the Vikings in Mondovi, where the Vikings came away with a 47-30 victory. In that effort against the Vikings, the Buffaloes were led in scoring by junior guard Hannah Bauer, who put up 11 points. She was followed by juniors Olivia Snyder and Kiera Wright, who combined for another 11 points. So far this season, the Buffaloes are being led by Wright, along with junior Addison Gray, who are each scoring 9.5 points per game. Olivia Snyder follows, averaging 7 points per game. On the boards, the Buffaloes are being led by Wright, who's grabbing over 8 rebounds per game, while Bauer and Gray are combining to pull down another 9.5 per game. For the Vikings thus far this season, the leading scorer is Jordan Bovey, who's averaging nearly 19.5 points per game. She's followed by Sierra Shipman at 11.5 points per game and Bryn Sikora at 10.5 per game. On the boards for the Vikings, leading the way is Klara Hajdukovic, who's pulling down over 6.5 rebounds per game, while Bryn Sikora is grabbing just under 6.5 boards per game, and Sierra Shipman is right behind, averaging nearly 5.5 boards per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, today we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, in just a few minutes, the Vikings are going to be taking on the Mondovi Buffaloes. But before we get to that, back on Monday, the Vikings defeated the Spring Valley Cardinals 71-49. Your initial comments about that game?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good overall game for us, after being able to rewatch the game. And I knew we had a good assist to turnover ratio, but it ended up being 3-1. We had only 5 turnovers. So single digit turnovers is great.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And obviously, we put up a lot of points, so I knew there was going to be quite a few assists. But I was also impressed with our press. I thought we, for the first time, kind of clicked in, like, being in the right spots, or everyone being in the right spots. We were able to capitalize on quite a few of their turnovers in that scenario, which was, good to see. I think that's something that can be advantageous for us. And we also, did a lot of great things in transition. Got a lot of, easy looks at the layups, which brought our shooting percentage up. Anytime you can, have those high percentage shots, that's really good for, your overall shooting percentage. And lots of kids got minutes, and that's important too, to, develop, some of our younger kids. And also we were able to get, 3 newcomers a chance to, kind of see what the varsity game is like. And that's always fun too.
Now, in that game, to my uneducated eye, it looked like the Cardinals utilized a zone defense and full court press, and it kind of appears through the last several games as if the current trend for how teams want to deal with the Vikings is to attack with a press, utilize a zone, and have long possessions to keep the ball away from that Viking transition game. How are the Vikings poised to or prepared to answer that type of strategy?
Yeah, everybody's, strategy is different when it comes to, how you're going to defend teams and stuff. And it's no secret that, we like to play fast and, try to push the issue as much as we can. So it doesn't surprise me that, other people are trying to come up with a plan to, stop, that's your goal, right? Is to interrupt whatever the other team is trying to do, whatever their plan is. So we knew that, that would be the plan. I think it's great experience for us because, you just never know what another team is going to play, if they are going to play man or if they're going to play zone. So it's good experience to be able to run, different offenses and have different looks at the basket, and then just still stressing, no matter what someone else is doing, you just need to take care of what your job is, what your team wants you to do.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to say, if something looks weird, don't panic, just do what you do.
Right. Yep. And they're well, educated. I make sure that they're prepared for all the, different scenarios and possibilities that they, could possibly see. That way, if, it's an odd front zone or an even front or man or whatever, they know, what their expectation is and what offense we are in.
Well, tonight the Vikings are going to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes, who, if I remember correctly, were one of the first teams to throw a zone at you guys. And still, the Vikings defeated them earlier this season, 47-30. What can you tell us about the Buffaloes, and what difference from that first game might we look for tonight?
Yeah, they sat in a 3-2, so I imagine that they'll do that again. We just have to make sure that we're taking care of the ball. I think the first time around we had way too many just careless turnovers. We didn't value the ball like we should. So I've been really stressing to, take care of the ball. Ball on a string, make sure you're strong with it, that kind of stuff. Don't throw it. Don't set your teammate up for a failure. But we also played, a majority of that game without Bryn. She twisted her ankle early on, and we just played it safe. So I think, anytime you take a kid who's, playing 30-some minutes a game out of the equation, it can always be a little different, I would say. But I also thought that it was a great experience for our other kids to kind of step up and meet those, minutes that needed to be filled. So I'm looking for, just good zone offense, taking care of the ball. Gonna have to make some shots, just like you always are, against the zone.
Now, the Vikings are currently the number one seed, at least that's what the WIAA is saying on their website, in the sectional. And how much of an advantage is it to hang on to that seed and get to play a few more games at home?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily like a huge advantage, but it's fun for sure to be able to play, in front of your home crowd, and that kind of atmosphere is always fun. So we enjoy, our playing on our home floor and our home gym with, in front of what has been, some really nice crowds. And I think, the atmosphere that the playoffs bring are typically the games that, the kids enjoy the most, that they remember, after they are done with their high school careers. And so I'm hoping that, we can hold on to that number one seed and just continue to play good basketball and, set us up for, hopefully a good run.
Well, Coach Sarrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can stretch that winning streak to 17 and build some fabulous memories for those seniors tonight.
Yes.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are getting ever so close to locking up another Dunn-St. Croix Conference title. The Vikings are coming off a 71-49 victory over the Spring Valley Cardinals Monday night. Tonight, the Vikings take on the Mondovi Buffaloes in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup from Colfax High School. Now on Monday, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference had 4 conference contests and 1 non-conference. The Vikings took care of business against the Spring Valley Cardinals, winning 71-49, while it was the Boyceville Bulldogs topping the Clear Lake Warriors 50-40. The Durand, Arkansas Panthers won the battle along Highway 10 with a 46-37 victory over the Mondovi Buffaloes, while the Glenwood City Hilltoppers topped the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 54-36. In non-conference action, it was the Spooner Rails defeating the Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs 43-27. Then on Tuesday, the Clear Lake Warriors traveled to Durand to take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers, with the Panthers coming out on top 38-27. Now that leaves the Dunn-St. Croix Conference standings as follows. The Vikings currently sit atop the conference with a 12-0 record. Only 2.5 games behind them are the 9-2 Boyceville Bulldogs, who are tied with the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. In fourth place are the Mondovi Buffaloes at 6-6, while in fifth place are the Spring Valley Cardinals at 5-6. The Clear Lake Warriors are in sixth, with the Glenwood City Hilltoppers in seventh place. Eighth place belongs to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and in ninth we find the Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs. Tonight, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference again has a full slate of conference games scheduled. Those include the Vikings playing host to the Mondovi Buffaloes, while the Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs travel to Boyceville for a dogfight against the Boyceville Bulldogs. It will be the Glenwood City Hilltoppers welcoming the Durand, Arkansas Panthers, and the Clear Lake Warriors will journey to Spring Valley to face the Cardinals. The Vikings, who sit in first place in the Dunn-St. Croix, have only, counting tonight's game, 4 conference games remaining this season. With a 2-game lead in the loss column, they need only a combination of 2 Viking Conference victories or 2 losses by Boyceville and Durand to clinch the conference title. Tonight's game could be a big step in that direction. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of tonight's girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
When tech goes on the fritz and frustration kicks in, Sladen's technology where you trust he can. From nowhere to backups, we've got what you need. Call us up, we'll plant the seed. Sladen's on the way, your heroes in disguise. For businesses large and small, we're the ultimate prize. 715-864-2833, get the IT help you desire. Call 715-864-2833 today.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network along with NLWN-TV proudly presents Colfax Viking Girls Basketball.
Vikings rise! We're making our claim, battling hard, igniting the flame.
Join us all season long, right here, as we bring you the Colfax Viking Girls while they battle their way through the Dunn-St. Croix Conference.
From inside and out, we're hitting those shots. Keep the winning spirit, give all we've got.
Now, out to the gym and tonight's Colfax Viking Girls game.
Together as one, we'll conquer it
Good evening and welcome to Colfax High School, where we have some Dunn-St. Croix Conference girls basketball coming your way. Colfax Vikings taking on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Rick Olson here with you, along with Lynn Nigeman keeping the numbers for us tonight, and Michael Christensen on the camera. Our hats off to our buddy Dan, who's usually here, but he's a little bit under the weather, and so we wish him well and hope he's back here tomorrow for the boys' game that we're going to bring you on NLWN2. Also want to give a shout out to one of our more loyal listeners, newly loyal listener, Shauna from Eau Claire. Want to give a shout out to her. And we're getting pretty close to being ready for some basketball action as the Vikings, who are 16-1 overall, 12-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, sitting on top of the conference against the Mondovi Buffaloes, who are 7-10 overall, and they are 6-6 in the Dunn-St. Croix. This reminder that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is being brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. Our Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it, and the Chippewa Valley Museum, where you can get in touch with the roots of the valley in Carson Park in Eau Claire. Make sure you stop in and thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball all season long here on NLWN-TV. We'll have tonight's starting lineup right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And don't forget that coming up at the Chippewa Valley Museums on February 28th is the annual Folk Arts Festival. You can get yourself a tattoo, learn about sourdough bread, and enjoy live music with a Grammy-nominated artist all in the same afternoon, and a whole lot more than that. So contact the Chippewa Valley Museum for more information about the Folk Arts Festival. That's at 715-834-7871. That's 715-834-7871. Taking a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game, starting off with the visiting Mondovi Buffaloes. They'll lead off with 5'4" junior guard Hannah Bauer. Then 5'4" junior guard Tina Johnson. 5'9" junior forward Olivia Snyder. 5'5" junior guard Addison Gray. And 5'8" sophomore forward Trinity Teagan. For the Vikings, it's the pretty much regular starting lineup. 5'6" senior guard Jordan Bovey. And then 5'7" senior forward Layla Hurlbert. 5'6" senior guard Sierra Shipman. 5'7" senior forward Bryn Sikora. And 5'11" senior forward Clara Hajdukovic. Taking a quick look at the numbers, not here tonight is the leading scorer for the Mondovi Buffaloes, Kira Wright. And there's a couple others that are not here tonight as well. Chloe Werline and Allie Gonstead are not here, but Kira Wright is the one that they're really going to miss, because she averages over 9 points a game for the Buffaloes, and she's also significant on the boards, averaging just about 5 rebounds per game for the Buffaloes. And leading the way for the Vikings, we have Jordan Bovey, who's averaging over 19 points per game. And along with her are Sierra Shipman at almost 11.5 points per game, and Bryn Sikora at just about 10.5 points per game. And on the boards, Clara Hajdukovic is leading the way at just over 6.5 rebounds per game. Taking a look at the other rebounders for the Vikings leading the way, Bryn Sikora and Sierra Shipman also picking up pretty fair numbers on the rebound. Sikora with just about 6, Shipman with about 5.5. And we're getting just about ready to turn things over to public address announcer, athletic director, jack of all trades, Mike Hodel, and he'll do the opening ceremonies.
Would everyone please stand if able? Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag. As the national anthem is played by Colfax High School students Carson Vaness and Tony Sante. Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Colfax High School for tonight's Dunn-St. Croix Girls Basketball action between the Mondovi Buffaloes and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Buffaloes. Number 0, a junior, Hannah Bauer. Number 4, a junior, Tiana Johnston. Number 5, a junior, Olivia Snyder. Number 12, a junior, Addison Gray. And number 23, a sophomore, Trinity Tigan. Buffaloes are led by head coach, Derek Gray. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings.
So there's the starting lineups. And out on the floor for the Mondovi Buffaloes again are Bauer, Johnson, Snyder, Gray, and Teagan. Jumping center will be Olivia Snyder for the Buffaloes. And for the Vikings, as soon as they break the huddle on the sideline there, it will be Jordan Bovey, Layla Hurlbert, Sierra Shipman, Bryn Sikora, and Clara Hajdukovic. And Clara Hajdukovic will be jumping center. And the Vikings come out on the floor. And the official steps in, ball goes up, and the tip is controlled by the Vikings. Bovey has it across the timeline. She sends it over to the left side to Shipman. Shipman back over to the right side to Sikora. Sikora down into the right wing to Bovey. Bovey back out between the circles over to Shipman. To Hurlbert. To Shipman, driving the lane, putting it up and in. Vikings draw first blood. And the Buffaloes with the ball. That's Gray with it. She gets it over to Snyder. Snyder across the timeline. She gets bottled up there. Tries to pass it over to Gray. It went out of bounds, and some of the Colfax fans disagreed with the call of the official because they thought it went off of Gray's foot. But he said no, it went off the Vikings. So Gray has it now. She's between the circles, gets it over to the right side to Snyder. Then to Johnson. Johnson back over to Bauer. Bauer to Gray. Gray to the free throw line. Way over to the side to Teagan. Shots up no good. Rebound chased down by Johnson to Bauer. Bauer from three. It's off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. Sikora feeds it down to Shipman. She lays it up. She got fouled. She got fouled by Tiana Johnson. That's the first foul on anybody in this game. And Sierra Shipman goes to the line, shooting two. First one's on its way off the back of the iron. No. And Shipman, the second shot on the way. That one's good. So it's Sierra Shipman 3, the Mondovi Buffaloes 0. Buffaloes looking to inbound it. Finally, it comes in, and we have a collision, and see what they call here. We're going to get a blocking foul called against Shipman. So the ball on the side to the Buffaloes. That's the first foul on the Vikings. They get it over to the left side. That's to Gray. She feeds it into the forecourt. That's Teagan. Getting it back out to Bauer. Bauer sends it over to Johnson. Back out to Bauer. Shots no good. Or that was Johnson. Rebound gets sent back out to Johnson. She dribbles down to the baseline. Now gets it out to Bauer. Down into the left corner to Teagan. To Gray. Puts up the three. No. A little bit left of the mark. And it goes out of bounds. So Sikora to inbound the ball. She gets it into Bovey. And Bovey across the timeline. Feeding it over to the left side. To Sikora. To Hajdukovic. Tries to lay it up. It did not go. And the Buffaloes come away with it. Gray with it. On the left side. Now top of the key. Down into the corner to Johnson. Back out to Gray, then back over to Johnson. Free throw line extended. She loses the handle, but she gets it back. Now she makes an errant pass, but picked up by Snyder. Puts up the three, and she hit it. So we are now tied at 3. Vikings with the ball. Bovey with it, and they're going to get her for a travel. Took an extra step as she was trying to penetrate the lane. Didn't have a chance to go up with it. Otherwise, they would have let her get away with it. But when she put it back to the floor, that was a travel. Snyder with the ball way down by the baseline. Gets it over to Bauer. Bauer out to Gray. Gray over to Johnson, then over to Teagan. Shot goes up, blocked by Hajdukovic. And down the floor comes Sikora. To Shipman. She puts it up. She puts it in. 5 points on the night for Sierra Shipman. Addison Gray with it. Gets it over to Bauer. Then to Teagan, then out to Gray. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by Hurlburt. To Bovey. Bovey on the left side. Getting it out to Shipman, then to Hurlburt. Puts up the three. She hit the three. Hurlburt with a three-pointer. Making it 8-3, Vikings on top. And the Vikings steal the ball back. Bovey kept it in bounds, and Shipman brings it down across the timeline. Back to Bovey between the circles. Underneath to Hajdukovic. She puts it up and got fouled. I think it's going to be on Teagan. Trinity Teagan. And it is. That's her first personal. Second team foul on the Buffaloes. Clara Hajdukovic at the line. First shot's up and good. Lyric Nichols and Addie Acker are checking in for the Vikings. Alexa Widener is waiting to come in. She'll be replacing Hajdukovic. And the shot is up, and it's good, so now she'll replace her. 10-3, Vikings on top. 14-17 remaining. Ball comes into Gray. Feeding it forward to Snyder. Snyder gets it into the forecourt to Johnson. They swing it back around. Gray has it between the circles. Over to the left side to Johnson. Johnson sends it over to Flaherty. Then back to Snyder, and she hit the three. Vikings up 10-6. Bovey with it. Gets it over to Widener, puts up a three. No. Rebound taken down by Bovey. Out to Acker, to Sikora. Three is off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound by Gray. She brings it across the timeline. She pulls up between the circles, feeds it over to the left side to Flaherty. Flaherty down to the baseline to Teagan, back out to Flaherty. Flaherty to Gray. Gray from three, no. Rebound taken down by Nichols. Nichols across the timeline on the right side. Over to the left side to Bovey, to Acker, to Bovey, to Nichols. To Bovey, to Acker, to Bovey, to Nichols, to Bovey, to Acker, puts up a three. It's high off the iron, no good. Rebound taken away by Gray. Gray right through the center circle. Sends it over to the right side to Johnson. Back out to Flaherty. To Snyder. Snyder into the lane, back out to Johnson. Then underneath to Gray. Gray turns, puts it up, it doesn't go. Rebound taken down by Widener. To Bovey. Bovey pushing it down the floor, pulls up from three. She hit the three! Jordan Bovey with a three-pointer. And we get a timeout called by the Mondovi Buffaloes. Vikings on top, 13-6, 12-14 to go in the first half. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Back here at Colfax High School, Lynn turned him and said, uh-oh, somebody just lost candy, and sounded like Skittles rattling through the bleachers. There will be a sad child somewhere. It might be a sad adult. So the ball comes in to Snyder. Over to Bauer. Bauer picks up her dribble in the backcourt, gets it over to Gray, now to Snyder across the timeline on the left side, feeds it to Flaherty over on the right side, she puts it off the glass and in. 13-8, Vikings on top. Nichols has it, high, wide, and right. Over to Bovey. to Acker, back to Bovey, to Nichols. Nichols at the top of the key. Over to Bovey on the left, to Acker down in the left corner, to Bovey, to Sikora, out to Nichols from three. She hit the three. Lyric Nichols with a three-pointer. Snyder with the ball, gets it to Flaherty, over to Teagan from the baseline, no good. Flaherty with the rebound, puts it up and got fouled. Fouled by Bryn Sikora. That'll be the second team foul on the Vikings. First foul on Sikora. And Aiden Flaherty at the line. First shot is up. It's good. (16-9). Second shot on the way. It's good. Vikings lead by 6. With 11:20 remaining, Bovey across the timeline. Gets it over to Nichols on the right side. Back to Bovey between the circles. Over to Hurlburt. To Bovey to Hurlburt. Cross-court pass over to Nichols to Bovey. Mondovi sitting in a zone now. They're in a 3-2 zone. To Bovey. To Nichols. Vikings looking for a path. Nichols drives to the baseline, tries to go into the lane, goes up, and we're going to get a foul, and we're going to see who it's on. No, it was just out of bounds. Nope. I'm sorry, it was a foul. Foul is on Hannah Bauer, her first, third team foul on the Buffaloes. Pass comes into Hajdukovic. Ball got knocked loose, and Snyder comes away with it for the Buffaloes, and across the timeline she comes. Pumps it from three, she hit it. Buffaloes have cut the Viking lead to 3, 16-13. Nichols, high wide left. Over to Bovey on the right side. Back to Nichols on the left. Tries to go cross court, and the ball got tipped, but chased down by Shipman to Hurlburt, to Nichols. Back out to Bovey. Little stutter step, but then decides not to. Feeds it into the lane to Shipman, and we have a whistle on the floor before the shot. And that foul is going to be on Mackenzie Dominguez. It's her first, fourth team foul on the Buffaloes. Vikings to inbound the ball. They get it in. Shot goes up and in by Bryn Sikora. Gray with it. Passes it to Bauer, then over to Snyder, still in the backcourt. Back to Bauer, almost stolen by the Vikings. Bauer got it back, got it to Gray between the circles, takes it to the elbow, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound being fought for underneath. Buffaloes come away with it. Gray tries to put it up, no good. They get the rebound, but stolen by Bovey. She lays it up, and she puts it in. 20-13, Vikings back up by 7. Bauer with the ball. Passes across the timeline to Dominguez. Back to Bauer. Out to Gray, three-point shot on the way. Comes up short and out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Lyric Nichols checking back in. Hurlburt has a seat. And Bovey brings the ball up the floor. Feeds it over to Shipman. Back to Bovey. Down to Nichols on the left baseline. Back out to Bovey. To Shipman. To Bovey. To Nichols. Drives the baseline this time. Tries to go up. It got partially blocked. But Shipman puts it back up and in. And Shipman steals the inbound and lays it up and in. Vikings putting on some more pressure. And the pass goes off the foot of Bauer, and it's going to be Viking ball. Pressure causing some problems for the Buffaloes. Shipman inbounds the ball to Nichols, over to Bovey, to Sikora, back out to Bovey, to Nichols, to Sikora, to Nichols, to Shipman, to Nichols, over to Bovey on the left side, to Sikora left corner, to Bovey, long shot is off the iron, no good. Nichols with it, she saved it in, got it to Shipman. Gets it down underneath to Bovey, puts it up no good. She got the rebound, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. It's going to be against the Buffaloes. That'll be foul number 5 on the team. Dominguez gets the foul, and she's going to take a seat. Teagan checks back in. Pass comes in to Hajdukovic, puts it up. It rolls around and out, but Sikora puts it back up and in. 26-13. Vikings have doubled up the score. And we have a foul being called down underneath. And that's on Widener. That's her first personal, third team foul on the Vikings. And the pass comes in. Snyder with it. Sends it over to Flaherty. Back to Snyder at the free throw line. Gets it out to Bauer. Bauer takes it to the free throw line to Teagan. Ball gets tied up underneath. Jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Buffaloes. And the shot going up by Snyder is, well, she ran into Sikora, and Sikora's going to get the blocking foul. It's her second personal, fourth team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up, rims around and out. 26-13, Vikings on top. 7:41 remaining in the first half. Olivia Snyder, second shot. Off the back of the iron, it's no good. Widener gets the rebound to Bovey, and Bovey brings it up the floor. To Shipman, over to Bovey, to Shipman. On the right side to Widener, over to Shipman, to Bovey, back out to Shipman. Mondovi still sitting in that zone. To Widener, to Shipman, to Bovey. To Shipman, Vikings just being patient. To Shipman, tries to penetrate, gets it back out to Shipman, and to Widener, to Bovey, three-pointer on the way, off the front of the iron, no good. Widener with the rebound, puts it up, it does not go, and the rebound taken down by the Buffaloes. Long pass down the floor to Snyder, to Teagan, she put it up and in. Trinity Teagan. Shipman to Bovey. To Acker, to Bovey, to Shipman. To Bovey, back to Shipman. Down into the left corner to Acker. To Bovey, to Shipman. Vikings very willing to be patient. Under 6.5 to go in the half. Bovey and Shipman playing catch. Down to Acker. Back out to Bovey. She launches a long three. That's off the front of the iron. Rebound tipped around, and coming away with it is Gray. Gray feeds it over to the left side to Snyder. Snyder in the lane, puts it up. It's no good. Rebound tipped around. It's out of bounds. It's going to be Mondovi ball. They're saying it went off the hand of Shipman. So the Buffaloes to inbound. Bauer to get it in. She got it into Gray, and the ball got loose. Picked up by Nichols. Gets it over to Sikora across the timeline on the left side. Gets it out, and then to Bovey. Bovey lays it up and puts it in. Shipman to Bovey to in. Gray with the ball through the center C. Feeds it over to the right side to Snyder. Snyder back out to Johnson. Free throw line extended to the right to Bauer between the circles. Takes it down the left side to Snyder. Snyder into the lane, then gets it out to Johnson, launches the three, and she hit it. Cuts the Viking lead to 10. 28-18. Shipman to Bovey to Shipman to Sikora. Now they get it to Nichols down in the corner, out to Shipman to Bovey. Bovey launches the three. She hit the three. (31-18) Vikings on top. Snyder with it, gets it to Johnson, feeds it to Teagan. It got tipped a couple times, but Teagan got it. They swing it back out high to Bauer. To Gray. Gray dribbling between the circles. Takes it down the right side of the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Vikings by 11. Bovey with it, down into the right corner to Hurlbert, back out to Bovey. To Shipman, to Bovey. Back to Shipman. She puts up a three. She hit the three. Let's see if Lynn can quickly look and see how many threes that is for the Vikings this half. Because there's a bunch of them. 5. And we have a whistle and a foul. Actually, no, it's a timeout called. Timeout on the floor with Vikings on top, 34-20. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Midwest Environmental Consultants, your partner and guide. From soil testing to landscapes, they cover it all. Lawn care and beauty, they're ready to call. With expertise in the ground, they'll analyze what's there. Call 608-468-2067 and let's get started. You deserve the best. Bridges of tomorrow standing proud and tall for pedestrians and bicycles welcoming home. Snowmobiles racing under the winter's bright sky. Anderson Bridges, where dreams never die. Family owned with a heart that's sincere, building pathways to the future.
Back at Colfax High School, Rick Olson along with Lynn Nigaman and Michael Christensen bringing you tonight's game. Vikings on top 34-20. Ball comes into Bauer. Vikings with full court pressure on. Bauer dribbles around it into the forecourt on the left side. Changes the direction. Gets it out to Gray between the circles. Over to Bauer now on the right side. To Flaherty. Then they get it out to Bauer. She's still on the right side. To Johnson. Over to Flaherty on the left. Bauer had it down low. Got it back out to Gray. Gray to Flaherty. Got the ball knocked away, but Johnson picked it up. Launches a three. It's off the back of the air. No good. Rebound taken down by Bauer. Bauer dribbles it back out high, wide, and right. Tries to feed it in. Ball gets away from Gray, and the Vikings have it. Bovey lays it up and doesn't lay it in. Rebound put back up is no good by Sikora. They get it out to Shipman. She launches a three. It's a little too hard. And chasing it down and saving it off the Buffaloes was Hurlbert. She knocked it off one of the Buffalo players. And the Vikings will get the ball. Pass comes into Bovey to Shipman. She's high, wide, and right. Over to Bovey on the left side, down to the left corner to Hurlburt. She launches it. She hit it. Layla Hurlburt with the three. 37-20. Teagan with the ball down the right side of the lane. She tries to put it up, partially blocked by Hajdukovic. And the Vikings come back down the floor. Shipman, long lead pass, a little too high for Bovey and out of bounds. So Mondovi will have the ball. Johnson sends it into Gray. She's still in the backcourt. Now she crosses the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Snyder, and she threw it where the girl was, not where the girl was going, and so it went out of bounds. It's kind of like when you're deer hunting. You got to lead them a little bit. Right, Lynn? Yep, she's going, yep. Lynn shoots them better than I do, so. Ball goes up. It's no good. Rebound. Michael's busily trying to get the camera back. And Sikora back out to Bovey. She pushes up a three from just about in the parking lot. Pass gets knocked out of bounds. Mondovi with the ball.
Oh. Something.
Coming up on halftime, and Bovey lays it up and puts it in. 15 points for Bovey. And down the floor come the Buffaloes. Whatever problem we're having with the camera, we'll have it fixed. Now we got it back. I was going to say, we'll get it fixed at halftime, but Michael is Johnny on the spot, and he got it. Ball comes into the forecourt. Shipman with it. Over to Bovey. Under 30 seconds to go. Shipman to Bovey. Vikings being very patient. 15 seconds. Over to the left side to Hurlburt. Back out to Bovey to Shipman. Cross-court pass to Hurlburt. She launches a three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound chased down by Johnson, and there's the buzzer. So we've reached halftime, and the score at halftime, Vikings 42, the Mondovi Buffaloes 20. And coming up, we will have Viking halftime, and our guest at halftime will be Addie Acker. And we'll do that right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Give yourself a little love this Valentine's Day. Open a health savings account or HSA to save tax-free dollars for out-of-pocket medical costs. Eyeglasses, braces, and acupuncture are just a few items allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. Pay by check or with a debit card and access your account through online or mobile banking. Give us a call to learn more. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
like being frustrated, humming a song can help you feel better. We all have big feelings, and we are all here for one another. Love your mind.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Addie Acker, and you're a junior here at Colfax High School. We know that you play basketball, but what are some other things you do here at school?
I also do softball and volleyball.
Okay, and when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience have you had?
I think it was 3rd grade. I've just enjoyed it, so I'm stuck with it till now.
And what's the most important thing you've learned playing basketball?
Like teamwork, just always got to be with your teammates to win the game.
And so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Just being with friends and family and hanging out with them.
Okay. Here come the signature questions. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Just chocolate chip.
Yeah, it's the old standard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Burger, brat, or hot dog?
Hot dog.
And what do you want on that dog?
Just ketchup.
Just ketchup, all right. Favorite color and why?
Blue. Not really a reason. I've just always liked it.
Just like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good enough. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Probably like mind reading. Just always know what everyone's thinking.
All right. Now, if Addie has this power to read minds, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's your superhero name?
Probably just like Addie Hears All.
Okay. All right. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Probably just the Bucks.
Okay. How about a favorite college team?
I like UConn.
All right. Now, if you could pick the brain of a sports personality from any time in history, who might that be and why?
Probably Caitlin Clark. She's just really fun to watch, and I'd like to interview her.
A lot of skill in that young
Yeah.
lady. Yeah. We're talking with Addie Acker today on Viking Profile. And Addie, what are your plans for after high school?
I'm planning on attending a tech school for something nursing-wise.
Something in the nursing area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out Mom, Dad, Kendall, and Charlie.
All right. And when people come to watch Viking games, where are we going to find you on the floor?
Probably shooting a 3.
Making a 3.
Making a 3.
There you go. All right. We want to thank Addie Acker for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy.
And we are in the process of an honoring of cross-country coach Joe Doucette, and let's tune into that.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. We have just a great bunch of kids and a great bunch of families. The only thing I'm going to say is that if I could start over 33 years ago, I would sign on the dotted line. So I would love to do it again. And I'm blessed with a great family and a great wife. And thank you for all the support over all the years. Thank you.
Longtime cross-country coach for the Vikings, Joe Doucette, being honored at halftime of today's game.
It is really all crazy.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up next is second half action of today's Viking basketball game.
And welcome back to Colfax High School. Nice ceremony at halftime for Coach Joe Doucette. And I'm not sure right now whether he's going to be back doing our baseball games as my color commentator this year, but I hope so. Anyway, let's take a look at the halftime statistics for tonight's game. First of all, taking a look at the Mondovi Buffaloes, they're being led by Aiden Flaherty, who has 4 points. Well, I take that back. They're being led by Olivia Snyder, who has 9 points. Aiden Flaherty has 4. Tiana Johnson has 3. Addison Gray and Trinity Teagan have 2 each for 20 points. For the Vikings, leading the way is Jordan Bovey with 15. Sierra Shipman has a dozen. Layla Hurlbert has 6, along with Bryn Sikora with 4. Lyric Nichols has 3, and Clara Hajdukovic with 2 for 42 points. 42-20 is our halftime score. Vikings basically controlled the action in the first half. Very patient on offense, but they've already scored as much as they did the first time these two teams met. So they're getting much more comfortable facing that zone defense. Buffaloes coming out on the floor, and it looks like, and it is the same as the starting 5. Bauer, Johnson, Snyder, Gray, and Teagan. And Mondovi will have the ball to start the second half, waiting for the Vikings to come out. And it's also the same as the starting 5. Bovey, Hurlbert, Shipman, Sikora, and Hajdukovic. Buffaloes inbound the ball. Gray has it. Takes it over to the left side. The blue-clad Buffaloes get it out between the circles to Bauer, to Snyder, to Johnson, to the left elbow, down underneath, to Gray, to Snyder, outside the arc on the right side, down to the baseline to Gray, takes it back outside the arc and comes out high, hands it off to Johnson, and then loose on the floor, picked up by Teagan, back to Johnson, out to Snyder, into the lane to Gray, puts it up, overlays it, and the Vikings come away with it. Bovey across the timeline. 1-on-2, she lays it up, it does not go. Ball gets tipped out of bounds by Hajdukovic. So it'll be Mondovi Buffalo ball. Mondovi moving from left to right in their blue uniforms with white numerals and trim. Vikings in the white with red numerals and trim. Snyder has the ball on the left side to Johnson at the top of the key. Over to the right side to Teagan, puts up the 3. No, rebound chased down by Shipman. Shipman across the timeline. Over to Bovey, thought about the 3, didn't take it. Over to Sikora on the left. Back out high to Shipman, to Bovey on the right. Back to Shipman, between the circles. Over to the left side to Sikora. To Shipman, to Bovey. To Hurlbert, to Bovey, to Shipman. Buffalo sitting in that zone, and the Vikings just being patient. Hurlbert launches a 3. It's off the back of the iron. Ball gets tipped around. Bovey chases it down. Tries to feed it into the lane. Gets tipped away. Vikings come away with it. Hurlbert has it on the right side. Out to Bovey. To Shipman. Over to Sikora as things settle down. Tries to feed it to Shipman. She gets it over to Bovey. Bovey tries to put it up. Ball got tipped loose. Hurlbert grabs it. Gets it over to Shipman. To Bovey. To Shipman. To Hajdukovic, over to Bovey, launches a 3, in and out, no good. Rebound taken down and put up by Hajdukovic, and she made it 44-20. Gray with the ball into the forecourt. Gets it over to the left side to Snyder. Down to Bauer in the right corner. Up to Johnson. Then to Teagan in the lane. Back out to Snyder, puts up the 3. Rattles around, off the glass and down. (44-23). Vikings by 21. Hurlbert launches a 3. It's no good. Rebound chased down by Sikora. She puts up the 3. It's off the back of the iron, no good. Buffaloes come away with the ball. Snyder with the ball through the center circle. Feeds it over to the right side to Bauer. Bauer back out high and over to the left side. Taking it up, putting it in is Johnson. 44-25, Vikings on top. Shipman with it, over to Bovey, back to Shipman. Shipman between the circles. Bounce pass over to Hajdukovic, to Bovey, back out to Shipman, to Sikora. Sikora double teamed. Shipman chases it down. Over to Bovey on the left side, back over to Shipman. To the top of the key to Sikora, to Shipman, goes into the lane, and we're going to get a blocking foul being called on Bauer. Pretty good collision coming down the lane that time. And it's going to send Sierra Shipman to the line for two. First shot is up. It's no good. Widener and Nichols check in. Addie Acker waiting for a chance. She'll come in for Shipman. Shot is up, it's good, and so she will be coming in now. Bauer to inbound the ball for Mondovi. Gets it into Snyder. Ball gets taken away by Bovey. She lays it up, it doesn't go. Bauer with it. Takes it to the lane, kicks it back out to Gray. Gray at the top of the key, spins and backs out. Over on the left side to Dominguez. They get it down underneath to Snyder. She puts it off the glass and in. So Bovey to bring it down the floor. Vikings up by 18. Bovey has it over to Nichols on the near side. Top of the key. Now down to Acker. Launches a three. It's off the glass. No good. Dominguez gets it. Gets it over to Gray, who brings it down the floor for Mondovi. Over to Johnson on the left side. Now she takes it into the lane. Gets it back out to Gray. Gray over to Bauer. Bauer to Johnson. Launches a three. She hit it. 45-30. Viking lead cut to 15. Bovey across the timeline. Gets it over to Acker. Back to Bovey. Swinging it over to Nichols. Cross-court pass to Sikora. Back out to Bovey. To Acker. To Widener. Back out to Bovey. Long three-pointer off the iron. No good, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Mondovi ball. Bauer inbounds it. Snyder has it. She comes between the circles, feeds it over to the left side to Johnson, to the elbow, back to Bauer. Bauer goes on the left side of the lane, and she walked with it. Ball's going to go back to the Vikings. Bovey gets it down to Acker, back out to Bovey, to Nichols on the left side. Tries to drive down, cross-court pass over to Bovey, to Acker, back to Bovey. Bovey backs up, redirects some traffic. Nichols has it. Back to Bovey. Down to Acker, thought about the three, didn't take it. They swing it back around, Nichols has it between the circles. Back to Bovey on the right. Back to Nichols. Back to Bovey. Down the quarter to Acker, back out to Bovey. To Nichols. Nichols to Sikora, down to Widener, lays a little too hard off the glass, and rebound taken down by Mondovi. Snyder feeds it over to Dominguez, back to Snyder on the give and go, then gets it out to Johnson, shots up no good, rebound, Nichols saves it, and we get a out of bounds call on the Buffaloes. So the Vikings will have it. Bovey feeds it over to Nichols on the right side. Comes back to the top of the key to Bovey on the left. Launches a three. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound being chased down, saved inbounds by Sikora. They get it back out to Nichols. Nichols pulls up from three. No. Rebound taken down by Sikora. To Widener. To Nichols in the lane, and she put it up and in. Widener did a nice job of spotting Nichols as she cut down through the lane. 47-30, Vikings on top. Buffaloes have it on the left side. Snyder back out to Bauer from three. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings, and we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball being called. Dominguez tied up Widener. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Bovey with the ball. Across the timeline. Over to Hurlburt. Back out to Bovey. Lob pass to Shipman, no good. Put back, no good by Hajdukovic, and it goes out of bounds off of Shipman, and it's going to be Buffalo ball. The Mondovi Buffaloes. Mondovi perched on the Buffalo River, hence the name. Gray gets it over into the corner. That's Bauer. Pass down underneath. Got away from Gray and picked up by the Vikings. Hurlburt grabbed hold of it, and now they get it down to Bovey. Coming down the left side of the baseline, lays up no good. Put back by Hajdukovic is good. 49-30. Vikings back up by 19. Gray feeds it over to Flaherty. Back out high to Snyder at the top of the key. To Dominguez on the left side. To Flaherty. And then an errant pass. Vikings come away. Bovey puts it up and doesn't go. And trying to go back up with it is Shipman, and she got fouled. And that foul is going to be on Bauer. That's her third personal. Second team foul on Mondovi this half. First shot is up, and it's good. Nichols checking in for Sikora for the Vikings. Johnson also coming in for Mondovi. Second shot is up and good, and she replaced Bauer. Gray with the ball. Feeds it over to the left side. Down underneath to Snyder. Snyder tries to take it to the lane. Gets it back out to Flaherty. Three-pointer off the iron, no good. And rebound tied up, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Mondovi. Tiana Johnson to inbound the ball. Teagan checks in for the Buffaloes. For Dominguez. Ball comes in to Gray. She takes it out high. Over to the right side to Snyder. Snyder back out high to Flaherty. Over to Johnson on the left side. Gets it to the free throw line. They get it back out to the right side. To Flaherty, out to Gray. Then to Snyder on the right. To Teagan down in the right corner. She's guarded by Hajdukovic. Gets the ball back out to Flaherty. Flaherty dishes it off to Gray. Three-pointer on the way. It's short. And out of bounds. The Vikings up by 21. Bovey gets it over to the right side to Hurlburt. Feeds it to Bovey down along the baseline. Back out to Hurlburt. Puts up the three. She hit the three. 9 points for Layla Hurlburt, all on three-pointers today. Addison Gray with the ball, feeds it over to the far side. Then they get it to Snyder at the edge of the lane. Out to Tegan. She puts up the three. She hit it. Nope. They say that her foot was over the line, so it's only a two-pointer. So Trinity Tegan with that two-point shot. Hurlburt thought about doing something with the ball before she caught it, and it kind of slipped through her hands, off her shoulder, and out of bounds. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor being called by the Mondovi Buffaloes, and you're tuned to Viking Basketball on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And this reminder that coming up at the Chippewa Valley Museum on February 28th is the annual Folk Arts Festival. You can get yourself a tattoo. Yeah, you can get one right at the museum. Or you can learn about sourdough bread making or enjoy live music with a Grammy-nominated artist all in the same afternoon. Call the Chippewa Valley Museum for more information at 715-834-7871. That's 715-834-7871. Viking girls have another basketball game coming up tomorrow night. Or check that, on Monday is the next girls game. I am off by a day. Several days, in fact. So Monday night, they'll be taking on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks from Baldwin-Woodville, and we'll have that game for you right here on NLWN-TV. Buffaloes have the ball. Johnson with it. She's high, wide, and right. Gets it to Bauer on the right side. Back out high to Gray. To Tegan. To Bauer. Bauer to the top of the key. Tries to feed it down underneath. Ball gets knocked loose, but Bauer gets it back. Over to Johnson on the near side. To Snyder down along the baseline. She gets it back out, and just a little bit too hard a pass. And they're going to say the Vikings got a hand on it. So Mondovi maintains possession. Ball comes into Tegan. Back to Gray. And then to Bauer over on the left side now. To Johnson on the left wing. Feeds it into the lane. Nobody was looking. And then the ball gets tied up. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Bovey across the timeline. Coming up on 6 minutes remaining in the game. To Nichols. Back to Bovey. She brings it back out high to Hajdukovic between the circles. To Hurlburt. Ball got slapped away as she tried to pass it. That pass to Shipman almost got intercepted. Still loose on the floor. Shipman bats it on over to Bovey. Takes a jump shot from the lane. No good. Rebound taken down by the Buffaloes, and this is Snyder with it. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Puts up the 8-footer. No good. Putback is no good. Blocked by Hajdukovic. And down the floor come the Vikings. Shipman on the dribble. She's at the top of the key. Over to the right side to Bovey. Bovey back out to Hurlburt. Puts up a three. She hit the three! 12 points for Layla Hurlburt. This is Gray with the ball over on the left side. Free throw line extended. Feeds it to Johnson on the left side of the lane. She lays it up. It doesn't go. Shipman with the rebound. Gets it to Bovey. Bovey puts it up and puts it in. That transition game by the Vikings, and the Vikings want to talk it over as you're tuned to Viking Basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. And the Vikings appear to be about to make some massive substitutions. I want to remind you also, tomorrow night we have boys basketball. The Vikings are going to journey over to Elmwood High School to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Viking pregame gets started at 6:45 with live play-by-play action to follow. That's Viking boys basketball tomorrow evening on NLWN-2. So now out on the floor for the Vikings, we have Ari Hoffman and Sophie Huziga and let's see, Macy Seehaver, Raina Keltner, and Addie Acker. Pass gets knocked away by the Buffaloes and they chase it back down. Johnson with it, and Johnson took a step. She thought about passing it down low and changed her mind because that was plugged up. And when she changed directions, she moved that pivot foot. So the Vikings have it. Keltner with the ball. Gets it over to the right side to Acker, to Huziga. Back out to Keltner. Keltner to Seehaver. High, wide, and left. To Hoffman. To Acker. Acker feeds it over to the right side to Keltner, and she got the ball taken away from her by Johnson. Johnson lays it up. It does not go. Rebound, hauled down. And it's out of bounds, evidently, or maybe it's a foul on the floor. It is. And I think it's going to be on Sophie Huziga. It is. It's her first foul. First team foul on the Vikings this half. Pass comes into Gray. She gets it back out high to Snyder for Mondovi. To Johnson at the top of the key. Over to Teagan. Shot's no good. She gets the own rebound, and it's taken down by Kendall Acker, who checks in. Out to Seehaver. Bounce pass to Addie Acker, but it's a little bit behind her, and Snyder takes it down the floor for Mondovi, lays it up and puts it in. 59-34, Vikings by 25. Kendall Acker with the ball. Feeds it over to Huziga on the right side. Back out high, intended for Addie Acker. Ball gets taken away by Snyder, lays it up. It's no good, but she got fouled by Addie Acker. We have both Acker girls in the game right now, so we'll go by Kendall and Addie. Addie got her first foul of the night, second team foul. Puts Snyder to the line for two. First shot's up and good. Checking in for the Vikings is Kenley Bjork, replacing Hoffman. Second shot on the way. That one's no good. Addie Acker with the rebound. She comes across the timeline on the right side. Gets it out to Kendall between the circles. Over to the near side to Huziga. Back to Addie. To Bjork. Then to Kendall. Kendall dribbles it out high to Seehaver. Seehaver over to Bjork. Bjork on the right side. Feeds it out to Addie. To Huziga. To Seehaver down in the left corner. To Kendall. Out to Bjork. Over to the right side to Addie. 2:30 to go. To Kendall. To Bjork. Bjork to Huziga. Huziga back to Bjork. To Kendall. Back out to Bjork, three-pointer on the way. She hit the three. So Kenley Bjork with their first three-pointer. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Mondovi ball. 62-35. Vikings on top. Under 2 minutes to go. Shot goes up from the corner. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Kendall-Acker. She brings it down the floor through the center circle. Feeds it back out to Seahaver, and then the launch comes. Three-pointer by Huziga. Vikings up by 30, 65-35. And down the floor comes Johnson. Johnson over to the near side to Rachek. Back out high, and the ball gets taken away by Bjork. She's going to lay it up, and it rolls off. Seahaver tries to go up and got fouled. So Seahaver is going to go to the line for two. That foul is going to be on Triana Johnson. That's her second. Third team foul. First shot is up and good. So Macy Seahaver scores. Viking bench is just thrilled to see these kids get points. Get varsity points. Down the floor come the Buffaloes. Johnson with the ball between the circles over to the left side. Flaherty, and then they get it back out, and the shot's no good, and stepping on the baseline. That was out of bounds off the Buffaloes. Okay. Michael just gave me a look like that was very strange. So Kendall-Acker with the ball. We're under a minute to go. Feeds it over to the left side to Huziga. Back over to the right side to Acker. That was Addie Acker. Now to Kendall-Acker. Now back out to Addie. To Kendall. To Addie. To Huziga. To Addie. To Bjork. Bjork reverses direction. Back out to Addie. To Huziga. Cross-court pass over to Kendall. Back to Huziga. To Bjork. To Seahaver. To Bjork. 10 seconds remaining. They get it to Addie. 4 seconds. And she's just going to hold the ball. And there's your final score. Colfax Vikings 66 and the Mondovi Buffaloes 35. And we'll have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Give yourself a little love this Valentine's Day. Open a health savings account or HSA to save tax-free dollars for out-of-pocket medical costs. Eyeglasses, braces, and acupuncture are just a few items allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. Pay by check or with a debit card and access your account through online or mobile banking. Give us a call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Midwest Environmental Consultants, your partner and guide. From soil testing to landscapes, they cover it all. Lawn care and beauty, they're expertise in the ground. They'll analyze what's there. Call 608-468-2067 and let's get started. You deserve the best.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on NLWN-TV.
Vikings rise! We're making our claim.
This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in Colfax High School is intended for the viewing and listening pleasure of the tuned-in audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or publication in any form or on any platform without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in Colfax High School is prohibited.
From inside and out, we're hitting those shots. Keep the winning spirit. Give all we've got.
Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game with a look back at today's Colfax Viking Girls Basketball game.
Together as one, we'll conquer it all.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have come away 66-35 winners over the Mondovi Buffaloes. That moves the Vikings record to 17-1 overall. And they are now 13-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference with 3 conference games remaining. And the Buffaloes are now 7-11. Sounds like a convenience store if you ask me. And they are 6-7 in the Dunn-St. Croix. We're waiting for Coach Serrar to come up and talk with us. And I don't see her down there yet, but I've got some eagle eyes watching for me. So while we're waiting, let's take a quick look at the scoring for tonight. First of all, for the Mondovi Buffaloes, they were led by Olivia Snyder, who actually had a pretty decent night. She ended up with 17 points. The next highest score was Aiden Flaherty with 4. Oh, I take that back. Tiana Johnson had 8. Then Flaherty had 4, along with Trinity Teagan with 4, and Addison Gray with 2 for a total of 35 points. And we're not going to get Coach Serrar. We're going to get Coach Kittleson tonight. And first of all, congratulations. That's a nice win, 66-35.
Yes, that it was. It was a great win for us.
And one of the things probably I enjoyed the most about this win was when those girls who don't get a ton of playing time, when they scored, the whole bench erupted.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, everyone supports each other, and for them to get in there and get their first varsity points, you know, that's a big deal.
It is, especially when they launch a 3 and all of a sudden it goes through and the whole bench comes flying.
Yes, fun to see.
And they got some significant playing time. And with the schedule you guys have coming up between this week and next week, you're going to need extra legs.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You know, 4 games in 5 days, that's a lot.
That's an awful lot.
Yep.
And so the other thing I want to mention before I forget about it, and I'm old so I forget about things easily, was the really nice ceremony at halftime honoring Coach Joe Doucette. And it was for his work as a cross-country coach.
Yes.
But he was a long-time coach of these Viking girls basketball players,
he sure was. Yeah, great person, great man. You know, he coached for the right reasons, did it the right way. You know, he cared about their character, you know, not always X's and O's, and, you know, that's what you have to do.
And I can ask you this question, because you played for that team down the road a ways.
I did.
How was it to play against him?
No, it was great. I mean, he was always very respectful. That's the kind of guy he is.
But he never made it easy for you either.
No, he didn't, and we didn't make it easy for him. So
No, you
it kind
didn't.
of went both ways.
That's terrific. So you're now 17-1 overall. More importantly, 13-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix with 3 conference games remaining and a 2-game lead. That means another conference win and you're in.
Yes. Yep, and that's our goal. That's our first goal that we want during the season, so hoping to do that.
And the next chance to actually clinch at least a share of the title will be on Tuesday of next week.
Yep.
But boy, oh boy, of those 4 games next week, 2 of them are against serious powerhouses.
They are.
You've got Baldwin Woodville on Monday, who's sitting on top of the middle border.
Yes.
And then on Thursday, you have Mosinee.
We do.
Who's sitting on top of the Great North Conference. They have 4 losses on the season, and 3 of those losses, Eau Claire Memorial, Rice Lake, the top 2 teams in the Big Rivers, Division I conference.
Yes.
And Neilsville, who's always a thorn in the side of the Vikings.
Yeah, but that's a game, we look forward to. It's, it's always good to play against good teams and to see where you're at, how much you've improved, and especially getting close to the end of the season and playoffs, you want to be playing tough teams to help prepare.
And as the saying goes, and Coach Serrara said something, maybe not these exact words, but if you want to be among the elite, you have to be able to beat the elite.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do.
Well, congratulations. 66-35, big win for the Vikings.
Yes.
And we'll get ready for the next game coming up
week.
on
Monday,
yeah. Against
right.
Baldwin Woodville.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Coach
Thank you.
Kielsen, for coming to join us. And we'll be back right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Vikings rise!
NLWN-TV is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
Okay.
Our next game will be on Monday, February 9th, when the Vikings travel to Baldwin Woodville High School to face the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:30 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on NLWN-TV on Monday, February 9th.
We'll conquer it all!
NLWN-TV is excited to once again bring you Colfax Viking Baseball. Our first game will be on Friday, April 10th, when the Vikings take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves from Colfax High School. Our coverage begins with the In the Dugout show beginning at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax Viking Baseball on Friday, April 10th on NLWN-TV.
We're the Colfax Vikings. We wear that crown.
NLWN2 is proud to present Colfax High School Boys Basketball. Our next game will be on Monday, February 9th, when the Vikings host the Spring Valley Cardinals. Live coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:45 p.m.
Striving for the title. On this
That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2 on Monday, February 9th.
we wear our pride.
Back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have come away 66-35 winners over the Mondovi Buffaloes. And that gets the Vikings precariously close to locking up a share of the Dunn-St. Croix Conference Championship. So the next girls' game, they can't lock up the conference championship at this next game because it's a non-conference game. But make sure you join us on Monday night as the Vikings are going to travel to Baldwin Woodville High School to face the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. That's a non-conference game. The Viking pregame will begin at 6:30. That's a little earlier than usual, followed by all the play-by-play action. That's Viking Girls Basketball as they take on the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks on Monday night on NLWN-TV. Also join us tomorrow night on NLWN2 for Viking boys basketball. The Vikings will journey over to Elmwood High School to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Viking pregame for that game begins at 6:45 with live play-by-play to follow. That's Viking boys basketball tomorrow evening on NLWN2. Also, the Colfax Bloomer wrestling team will compete at St. Croix Central tomorrow. And the Viking dance team is going to compete at the state meet in La Crosse both tomorrow and on Saturday. So, I want to remind you that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And the Chippewa Valley Museum, where you can get in touch with the roots of the valley in Carson Park in Eau Claire. So make sure you thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on NLWN-TV. So for Lynn Nigaman, who has been keeping the numbers for us tonight, and for Michael Christensen, who has been on the camera, this is Rick Olson. Final score once again, Vikings 66 and the Mondovi Buffaloes 35. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In the heart of the court, where we show our might, Colfax High School, we're ready to ignite. Viking girls with a passion, fierce as a flame. Every dribble, every hustle, we're playing for fame. With red and white pride, hear the crowd roar, defending our